Deebo Samuel once out. There's no way that's true, right? Trey Lance, he's the starter, but I feel like we already knew that. I don't even know if that's real news. And Todd McShay and Kiper, a mock draft, 3-round mock draft. They drafted some players for the 49ers. We're going to talk about all that and more right now. You know what it is. The San Francisco 49ers Morning Show. Let's go.
Intercepted. It is picked up by Aaron Crocker over midfield. He'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Crop Talk TV podcast. Peace.
Welcome to another episode of the San Francisco 49ers Morning Show. I am your host, former NFL and AFL defensive back, Eric Crocker. And y'all know what to do, man. Hey, Locked On 49ers, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're listening. Make sure you like. Make sure you leave reviews, 5 stars, all that good stuff. Do the same with Locked On NFL Draft with myself and my co-host, Ryan Tracy. And obviously, y'all know I got the new podcast dropping every Wednesday. Today's Wednesday, so the news podcast dropped today. The Not Ideal podcast is me talking about more business, entrepreneur stuff, or whatever the hell comes to my mind. But so far, it's been more focused on the business side of things, entrepreneur stuff. I had a homie on yesterday, on this morning's episode. I say yesterday because we pre-recorded it, and obviously I put it out last night. But make sure y'all tune into that. Oh no! Didn't plug in my mic. Wait, I did. But maybe it's not connected. Hold on. My bad, y'all. My bad. Oh yeah. Right, Mike. All right. How about now? So we're going to restart that whole thing. Hold on. We're going to restart that whole thing. Anyways, here we go. Deebo Samuel, does he want out? All right. We're going to answer all those questions and more. Adam Schefter says the 49ers want to get that deal done. Trey Lance, they're alluding to him being the starter in the building. I feel like we already knew that. Kiper, Todd McShay, mock draft. 3-round mock draft, so 3 picks to the 49ers. We're going to talk about all that and more right now on the San Francisco 49ers Morning Show. Okay. We're good now. Good with the audio. My bad. I'm so used to I got a new laptop, y'all. Y'all got to bear with me. I got a new laptop. I used to have a Dell, which I'm Apple everything. Or I got Apple AirPods. Or I got 2 phones. They're both goddamn Apple. I got iPad, everything's Apple. But I've had this Dell laptop for a few years. I didn't have a lot of money, and MacBooks can get a little expensive. And I got this Dell laptop, which I really love. I actually loved it. It was super easy to use, and it crashed on me. The damn laptop crashed on me last Friday, and now, so I went out and I got a MacBook. Now, tough thing is going from Dell Windows to a MacBook. Everything is just so much different. Like everything is different. I look, I'm recording straight off the webcam because I can't figure out how to use an external camera for my podcasting. And I know if I just sit down, I'll figure it out eventually. But I just haven't had a whole lot of time to be able to do it. So I've been trying to like search in between doing different things, and I haven't figured it out yet. So y'all know, like, this is typically not the camera or the angle that I go with, but I'm trying to figure it out. All right. And then every time, for whatever reason, I get on StreamYard with this, I have to reconfigure the mic that I'm using. Where it's like, okay, you gotta go to this. Where I didn't have to do that with the Dell. The Dell, everything was all set up and it was plugged in. I was good. The only time it would mess up is if maybe I moved it and I didn't plug it in all the way, but I didn't have those type of issues. With this one, you gotta do it every time. So I'm figuring it out. New MacBook, just new laptop. I do like the MacBook. I'm a MacBook type guy. I've had a few in the past, but anyways, we got a lot of good stuff to talk about today. And I did my little rundown. I'll do it one more time. And I see somebody say Epicam. I tried that, couldn't find it. I couldn't find it on the Apple MacBook. I couldn't find the app. I don't know. Terry Good, I'm responding to yours. I looked for it, couldn't find it. If you could send me a link to where it goes straight to the MacBook, I'd appreciate that. But okay, Locked On 49ers with myself, Brian Peacock. We typically come to you 5 days a week. Last week it was 4. This week it might only be 3. My guy Peacock is moving from Davis, California back to the Bay Area, and he's having some technical difficulties getting his Wi-Fi set up and stuff like that. You know, he just bought the new house. So got to bear with him. We'll be back 5 days a week. Also Locked On NFL Draft. We come at you 5 days a week as well. But again, I apologize for the technical difficulties to start this show. But my new podcast, which I was getting to, the Not Ideal podcast, is more business-minded, just more entrepreneur. I say business, and I mean, I guess anyone that is doing something and you don't work for someone, you work for yourself, it's a business. But everything that goes into it as far as my experience, and that's what I'm talking about right now, like my experience with it. I touch on that. I bring on some of my homies, and yeah, my homies got some good stuff that they're doing. Just put out an episode, because we drop an episode every Wednesday. All right, every Wednesday, dropping a new episode. Had a new one come out this morning. So go to, I don't know, Spotify, Anchor, Apple Pods, wherever you listen to your podcast. The Not Ideal podcast with Eric Crocker is myself. And it's good stuff. It's good stuff. It's raw. It's real. It ain't none of that fluff stuff. Y'all know I only keep it a buck. All right, but anyways, man, let's talk about keeping it a buck. Deebo Samuel. This is an interesting one. All right. And I don't want to take the approach of, you know, like clicky stuff. Y'all know me. I'm not really like a clicky guy. But I did say previously that, hey, this is a real thing. It's a real thing. Like this situation, him scrubbing his account, him, you know, whatever, the little subliminals with his homie posting something, 25 million, or we don't want it. All that stuff, it was like, it's real. Now, are the 49ers going to re-sign him? Are they going to get the deal done? I think we lean towards yes, right? I'd say right now, I'm like 75-25, right? 75 in favor of, yeah, man, they'll get it done. I feel like that's a high number. But there's a 25% chance that he ain't a 49er when the season starts. I don't think that'll be the case. Yeah, 75-25. But it is a real thing. And I don't put anything past the San Francisco 49ers because of the Buckner situation. So we can talk about how much Deebo Samuel means to this team and all the things and the ways that he contributes and all that good stuff. They traded DeForest Buckner. Ever since then, I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. I'm assuming they want to get this deal done, as is Adam Schefter. So let's go look at some of the things that came out. Adam Schefter came out and he had something to say about this situation. San Francisco would pay Deebo Samuel today, tomorrow, the next day. It's not hard to figure out what the contract would look like. This, I think, is Deebo not wanting to get the deal done. The 49ers are ready. Deebo's the one that's put a halt to everything right now. Now, listen. What's ready for the 49ers might not be what's ready for Deebo Samuel. All right. So, it's not hard to see what this would look like. I think it is definitely hard to see what this look like. Unless you're the 49ers where you're like, well, you know, you've had one great year of production. You had a good rookie year. And then you had one great year of production. So, you know, okay, that looks like this. And maybe Deebo's saying, what the fuck are you talking about? That doesn't look like that. I want this money. In that right there makes it to where it's not as simple as Adam Schefter tries to make it out to be. This is not a simple situation here. A lot of fans are pushing back on the fact, oh, well, he's only done it for 1 year. Oh, injuries and things like that. Well, if the 49ers want to argue those things on their behalf, again, that makes this situation a lot more difficult and not something that's just cut and dry. Here's the numbers. You know what simple is when he says, where's that? I think this is not the 49ers already. Hold on. It's not hard to figure out what the contract would be. Draft picks. Like when you draft it, there's like this rookie pay scale now, right? If you're the first overall pick, you're going to get about this much money. If you have this second overall pick, you're going to get an X amount of dollars. If you're the third, I mean, it goes all the way. Like there's a pay scale. That's not hard to figure out what a contract look like. But this situation with Deebo Samuel is very difficult. Very difficult. That's not easy. All right, so it might be some 49ers want to pay X amount of dollars, and Deebo Samuel and his camp are like, no. Also, if I'm Deebo Samuel, I'm not signing anything anyways, because I'm not signing anything until Terry McLaurin signs, until AJ Brown signs, until DK Metcalf signs. I'm not signing anything until they sign. So again, back to, know what this contract is going to look like. All right, well, I will know, and this is me being Deebo Samuel, I'll know what this contract looks like when I see AJ Brown, Terry McLaurin, and DK Metcalf, what they signed for. Now, if those three guys get less than, Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill and Stephon Diggs, which I'm assuming they might, right? And when I say less than, we're talking about guaranteed dollars. All right. And then you can put all the fluff in the overall number and all that stuff, but nobody cares about that. His homeboy, $25 million a year, that's what we want. Deebo's agent's like, dude, we don't care about that. We care about the guaranteed money. And right now, what are they offering in terms of guaranteed money? Is it closer to 50 or is it closer to 70? And I'm pretty sure Deebo's going to want closer to 70. That could be a big holdup. But again, I'm not signing anything until I see what these other three guys get. Now, if Terry McLaurin and those guys come back and it's like, oh man, I got, five, or we'll just say 4 years or whatever. 4 for 100, no, 5. 5 for 110 and 62 guaranteed, then all right, I'll settle for about that. I need $1 million more than these other guys are first team all pro. But I need that. Yeah, I see my guy Sterling in the chat right now. He says 3 of the 4 players have the same agent. I know, Deebo, McLaurin, and AJ Brown. So that's a whole different thing. Now, how do you go about that? Do they all wait for each other to sign? Again, if I'm Deebo Samuel, I was first team all pro. Again, if I'm Deebo Samuel, I was first team all pro. I carried y'all. You know what I'm saying? I carried y'all. Now I know in the chat, y'all go, oh, it's a team game. NFL, team game. I get it. Well, Deebo was the team. All right. Hand it to me, throw it to me. Let me throw a pass. You know what? I'll catch kickoffs. Like, he was a lot of the team. All right. He was the offense. We'll say that. Defense played well. He's the offense. I don't even think it's close if you don't have Deebo Samuel. So if I'm him, it's like, look, I did more for my team than y'all. Like, AJ Brown, like, you got that big ass 6'3", 250-pound running back in the backfield. Like, he runs for 2,000 yards a season. Like, he's the team. You just contribute. Terry McLaurin, like, y'all suck. I mean, you're good, but like, y'all not good. So like, you haven't really contributed to anything. Me, like, this team has rode me to a Super Bowl. Like, this team has rode me to multiple conference championship games. I need my chips with dip. All right, so that's kind of I'm curious to see how that whole thing plays out from that standpoint. It already came out. He's not reporting to OTAs, which do y'all know how OTAs are? And maybe y'all don't. So I'll explain. Obviously, I was with the Jets, and I did attend OTAs as well. I was there, like, I came from another league, so I was able to report with the veterans. OTAs, we went 4 days a week. All right, we went 4 days a week. Now, some of these things could possibly change because they, new CBAs and things like that. And Shay Lewis, I see the super chat right now. I'm going to star that right now, and I'll get back to that. You paid $20 to talk about Wisnowski? I don't know if they're replacing him. I would say next year. Maybe they don't sign him. He is old, but they drafted him. How much better can you do per punt? I don't see them replacing him now. But as far as OTAs and how it goes, all right, appreciate the contribution, though, for sure. Those are greatly appreciated. OTAs, my experience, again, could change by now. There are, CBAs and new things and, whatever. But OTAs, it starts off, there's different phases to it. All right. the overall, it's 4 days a week. It was 4 days a week when I was there. It was 4 hours a day. All right, again, OTAs, 4 days a week, 4 hours a day. Now, 2 of the days, not 2 of the days. We went Monday, Tuesday, and then we had Thursday off, and then we went Thursday, Friday. Teams can finesse it however they want. Maybe they go 5 days. I don't know, but we went 4 days a week, and we had 1 day off in between. So two on Monday, Tuesday, off Wednesday, and then we went Thursday, Friday. Then you have the weekend off. I think they used to do like Monday through Thursday, and then people were like leaving the state and all that. You know, guys be traveling all the time. But anyways, this is how it was kind of structured throughout the day. In the first, there's different waves of it, which I could be off. I did see guys yesterday catching passes and throwing and stuff like that. I don't know if we did field work that first week. I'm seeing dudes now doing it the first day, so it could be different. Could be different from when I was playing. But the first 2 hours for the defense was the first 2 hours we would be on the field doing agility drills. All right, so just little, outdoor agility, conditioning, working sprints. We do competitions. Like I remember having Tim Tebow in my group, and we have to sit on the wall and we're handing this ball back and forth, and you're trying to beat the other people, and then you have sled push competition, things like that. So you do that for an hour, and then you also lift for an hour. And then once you get done with your lift, they'd have your shake ready for you. Eric Crocker, here's your shake, just how I like it. I'd take that, whatever snacks I want, grab a whole bunch of snacks, go into the meeting room, and then you sit in the meeting room for 2 hours. And that was OTAs, 4 days a week. And then it goes to like another phase. Then you start doing like walkthroughs and stuff. Then you start doing on-field stuff. So that hour of agility or whatever, now it's not an hour of agility. It's an hour of on-field stuff, running routes on air, catching passes, things like that. And then eventually it will go into where what you are competing. So for, 2 hours or whatever, and it's not a full 2 hours, you stretch, whatever, hour and a half, hour, 20 minutes, whatever it is. You're on the field, you're doing things, you're actually going through like 7-on-7, some team stuff, stuff like that. And then when that's done, you go in and everyone has their meetings and everything like that. You grab your lunch, take it, whatever it is that you do. And that's kind of the basis of OTAs. And then eventually you'll have your mandatory mini camps where it's like everybody has to be there and it's more competitive. Now, one thing I did notice when I got to the league was because I reported great shape. Not everybody does. Like a lot of guys use that time to get in shape. There would be guys that were like 20, 15 pounds overweight. Then they come back for training camp and it's like they're all rocked up, hella abs, all that. I'm like, damn, how y'all do that? All right. But OTAs, that's kind of how it goes. So when you look at Deebo Samuel and it's like, well, I'm not going to OTAs or he's not participating in the on-field stuff. It's not, he can show up, still do the meetings, still be there. There was a player recently that did a hold in where he was actually like there, but just Melvin Ingram, not Melvin Ingram. Ingram, the defensive, Melvin Ingram, the defensive end for the Chargers, right? It was on Hard Knocks. He was like holding out, but he's holding in. He's like showing up, just like I'm not participating in any of this stuff. All right. And I think they ended up giving him some kind of money or whatever to kind of help the situation to smooth it over. But with Deebo Samuel, is he there? And y'all let me know. Is Deebo Samuel there or is he just not showing up at all? Because I thought he would, when it said like, well, he won't be participating on field stuff. It's like, well, he's there, but he's just, you won't see him running routes and catching passes from Trey Lance. So that's something interesting to see how that whole thing plays out. Obviously, heard some of the other guys as well won't be participating in OTAs, right? Terry McLaurin, AJ Brown. I don't think either one of them, I don't think any of them are reporting. If I'm not correct, y'all let me know if I'm wrong. But I say all that about this whole situation and like, possibility of him. Okay, his body is there, but his mind isn't. But then we got my guy Rashawn Davis says not showing up. So I don't know. We'll see. Y'all let me know if there's a Deebo Samuel sighting. But I when I first read it, I just thought, well, he just won't be on the field. But he'll be there in the building. All right. So we'll see. Rashawn Davis says, he's in Miami. So if he's in Miami, yeah, he's. But again, he ain't the only one. The AJ Brown, Terry McLaurin, like, what's their situation? DK Metcalf, did he show up? Like, what's their situation? All right. And then, they're figuring it out. They're figuring it out. But this is a real thing. This is a real thing. Now, what is also real, his brother commenting on the situation. So I don't know how many of y'all have seen this. I'm pretty sure, unless you're living under a rock, you saw some of these things spread like wildfire across 49er content creator things. And hold on, let's see. There's a picture of Deebo in a track outfit that has a Miami Dolphins color but no logo. I'm not paying attention to that. But Deebo Samuel's brother comes out, and I guess in Facebook, it looked like a Facebook post or something. I don't know. I'm not on Facebook, stuff like that. It looked like a fake Facebook post. But his brother responds to a comment because somebody was like, trade Deebo. And his brother comes out and says, yeah, we're working on that now, or he's requesting a trade. Something to the extent of that. Deebo's requesting a trade. So I just got to thinking, how disgruntled is Deebo Samuel? And how do you even get to this point? Like, how does this happen? Now, his brother has since come out and said, man, y'all just take everything and run with it. Like, y'all don't even know what y'all talking about. Like, nigga, you're the one that put that out there in the first place. Like, you're the one that responded and said, yeah, we're requesting a trade right now. So you can't say, yo, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all just run with anything. You said it. Like, you said the shit. All right. So like, you can't take it back. Now I know one thing. I was in the league. I have a big brother. My brother would search my name on social media and he would respond to people if somebody said, yeah, like you're typically your brother knows what's going on. Your brother, your best friend, like they know, right? Like just like the guy that posted, we want 25 million or we don't want it, right? Or whatever, right? With Deebo in the picture with him. That doesn't come from nowhere. Like Deebo had to tell the guy that, right? And the same with the situation with his brother. I don't know what Deebo. Obviously, you can't confirm or did whatever he said, but your brother is not going to just make something up. Now, maybe Deebo doesn't want that out there. Maybe the case. Why would you say that? You need to make it right. But my brother would not speak on my back or say anything that I didn't tell him. Like, how many of these situations have we seen anyone come out and we've seen it with wives, right? Where it's maybe like, I'm trying to think, Brett Grimes. Remember when Brett Grimes' wife used to like run the social media and say things? They are talking about this. Like, you know what I'm saying? If my wife says something on if my wife comes out, if somebody says something to me or something about me and my wife sees it and she responds, my wife is going to respond with something about a conversation that we have had. Whether I want her to say it or not, babe, why would you do that? Like, take that down, delete that. But we have had that conversation. So when you look at Deebo Samuel and his brother, and his brother comes out and says, yeah, my brother's requesting the trade, whatever. It's that not coming from nowhere. So you can gloss over it and he can try to backtrack on it. But yeah, that's a real thing. So now does Deebo Samuel want out? And I think and negotiations can get weird, right? Especially like when it's business. And this is business. And this is high level business, right? Like this isn't Eric Crocker business on the percentage of my gym or whatever, or, like this, we're not talking about thousands of dollars, like $100,000. We're talking about millions. And when you're messing with millions of dollars, and this is the guy's big payday, and it might be his own big payday to this extent because he's a little bit older. Like Juju Smith-Schuster, when he came into the league, Juju Smith was up for contract by the age of 23. It was like, damn, how's this dude 23 years old? Well, he was drafted at 20. It's going to be the same thing with Trey Lance. Like, Trey Lance is going to be up for a new contract when he's like 23, 24 years old, right? Like, and you can cash in on multiple big contracts at that time. But when you're Deebo Samuel and now you're going to be potentially cashing in a little bit older, how many more big contracts will he get? We'll see. So you got to make this one count. So this whole situation is crazy. I see someone say his brother was trolling. Listen, and where's it at? His brother could be trolling. Maybe, but I know one thing. My brother, and it's not my brother. So maybe, you know what I'm saying? My brother, my best friend, whatever. If they respond to something about me, they would likely be responding, especially to that magnitude, with something that I have told them. I'm either thinking about doing or I want to do, whatever. Like, even if it's not something I've said to the organization or whatever they respond with, like, that's coming from our inner circle. It's typically not made up. Now, maybe Deebo will say, Croc, you're full of SHIT, and no, I ain't never said nothing to my brother. He can say that. And I'd probably be like, all right. But I don't know. We'll see. Unless his brother, I'll say this. If his brother's just hella stupid, then, and he makes up stuff like that, like, we're requesting a trade. How old is his brother? If his brother's like 17, 18 or something like that, then I get it. You know what I'm saying? If he's like 17, if he's like young, but I tell you this, if his brother is older, let's say 24 years old or something, 25, there's a conversation. Somebody said that's the same brother that was in prison, can't believe anything he said. Listen, all my brothers been in prison. My big brother BJ, prison. My brother Donald, prison. That don't mean anything if I say something to them. Like, it don't matter. They're not like you. That don't even have nothing to do with it when it comes to family. All my brothers both been to prison for extended periods of time. Like, Donald did down there 2 years. My big brother BJ did a little bit combined over a year. Like, my brothers have been to prison. Like, but even then, if I say something to them, we talk all the time. We're conversing every day. I was on FaceTime with Donald yesterday. I was on FaceTime with my brother BJ yesterday. Right? We talk every day. If somebody says something on social media about me and my brother responds, it's probably likely going to be with something that he's thinking and that we've said and that we've talked about to that magnitude. But could be fake. Could be fake. We'll see. I just say this. And I see, Deebo's brother doesn't speak for Deebo himself. If it isn't from Deebo's mouth or his agent, I'm not believing it. All right, but I'll tell you this. Family, they speak out of emotion. I'm more likely to believe his brother than I am his agent. His agent's going to speak off of doing what's best for him. His brother is going to be more emotional. And a lot of times it's going to be because of a conversation that they've had. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Get me. Could be wrong. But I'm just trying to use common sense here. If my wife, my sister, if they say something like that, we've had that conversation. We've had that. Right, I see right here. Man, my bro can speak for me because he knows me so well. A lot of times, again, you've had these conversations. So this is a kind of a little weird little situation here. It's getting a little toxic. And hopefully it gets figured out because Deebo Samuel is a great football player. I think he's a top 5 receiver in this league. And we had this debate on Twitter, and a lot of people were like, oh, well, he's not a pure receiver. And I've had to kind of change my stance on like a pure receiver. And now I don't even know if there is a pure receiver. I just know this. Like, he's a receiver, and he was a 1,400-yard receiver, and he's at damn near 1,800 yards between rushing and receiving, and he had 14 touchdowns, and he was great. So whatever kind of receiver that is, he's that, and he was one of the best in the league. My guy Gammon, Mahomes' brother has been spot on as well. Mahomes' brother, he's a little different He's a little different. But I'll tell you this, as much as he's around his brother, if Mahomes' brother came out and said, and again, he's done some weird stuff, right? He's done some really weird stuff that a lot of people don't approve of. But if he came out and says, all right, my brother is working on a deal with McDonald's. Like, yeah, I believe it. I believe it. Right? Like, now, again, he's probably had this conversation, those kind of deals or whatever with his brother. So we're talking a little bit too much about the brother situation. But I'll say this. If my brother comes out and says something, we've had that conversation. Whether I want it out there or not, we've talked about that. All right, so that's that. And all the signs point to right now, Deebo is not necessarily happy, right? So it's like you can't discount what his brother's saying when he scrubbed his entire account of anything 49ers related, put out stuff, subliminals through other people's messages about 1 in 25 million. He's not showing up for OTAs or whatever. It's just be a tactic or whatever, or contract negotiate, whatever the case is. His brother comes out and says something along the lines of want to be traded. Like, at some point, like, some of this shit got to be true. Like, some of this stuff there has to be some merit to it. We can't just sweep everything on the rug and be like, oh, no, that's not. Oh, well, no, he just wanted to delete. Oh, well, no. Like, no. Like, it's real. It's real. Now, can it not mean anything? I mean, when I say not mean anything, like, can the deal still get done? Of course. And I put it when we first started talking 75-25. I believe 75% chance the deal gets done. There's 25% chance he ain't on the Niners. But the shit's real. It's real. And the things you're hearing, it ain't just nothing. Adam Schefter coming out and talking about Deebo and that money, like, what do you think, Adam Schefter is making it up? No. Adam Schefter talked to the 49ers. Adam Schefter talked to the 49ers. Now, why the 49ers put that information out there? Hey, it's not us, it's him. That's something different. Right? So let's talk about that. Why are the 49ers putting out that information? Why are the 49ers saying, you know what? Look, we offered him. It's on him now. He's the one that's tripping. So there's one or two reasons why. One, they do have it ready, and it's just a number. But again, probably could be significantly lower than what Deebo Samuel wants. So there's that part. All right. Two, what if they're just really not trying to pay him more? And he is so disgruntled. Is there a chance that, and again, the 49ers have received trade offers, and I can't wait to talk about this Mac Jones thing too. Hold on. Where's the Mac Jones? Where's it at? Oh, here it goes. I don't know if they've received trade offers. Excuse me. Let me not say that. They have received interest from teams. It was already reported that the Jets were looking at these situations with these receivers. What's it going to be like? Is it going to be smooth with these teams trying to sign these guys? We don't think so. Let's keep an eye on these things, right? Well, clearly it hasn't been smooth for the 49ers for whatever reason. And now you got everything coming out. So now I believe from the reports, teams are calling the 49ers. Now, the 49ers have shot everything down. The 49ers have shot everything down, right? And they said, nah, we're not trading them. Shot it down. And now they put this out. And now I'm kind of, putting on my conspiracy theory hat. Could they potentially be saying, you know what? We're putting this out there because we have a number. We're not moving off of this. He's disgruntled. He's not happy. He wants out. Whatever the situation is, we're going to put it out there to him, to the media and all that, and to the fan base that it's not us, it's him. So when we trade him, Deebo Samuel, we tried. We offered. We're the good guys in this situation. Could there be a little bit of that? Could there be a little bit of that? I think there definitely can be. I don't think that's how the 49ers roll. But again, I keep going back to the DeForest Buckner situation, and it looks that was weird. I didn't see it coming. They called his bluff. They called DeForest Buckner and his agent's bluff. Oh man, well if you can fetch us a first round pick, then all right, yeah, because we're not gonna pay you whatever. We're not even trying to meet you in the middle. They ain't even trying to meet DeForest Buckner in the middle. Again, DeForest Buckner, a guy who did everything right. Whatever you want your quarterback to be, or excuse me, your first round, your top 10 pick, whatever you want your top 10 pick to be, DeForest Buckner was that. On the field, elite football player at his position. Made what, second team All Pro, whatever, Pro Bowl type caliber guy, dominant, all that, right? Double digit sacks, multiple years, all that. Never missed a game. He missed one game his entire time with the 49ers, right? Like everything you want him to be like, he was that. Leader, great on and off the field, never had any issues with him, and they traded him. So if you think that they would not trade Deebo, man, shit. Now, again, put it out. It's him. It's not us. It's him. He's the one tripping. Now, maybe they learn from the situation. Like, man, we tried to trade Buckner, drafted this guy, Kinlaw, 13th overall. Hasn't quite worked out the way that we wanted to. Let's not make that same mistake twice. That could be them as well. But I don't know. Okay, David. Croc woke up feeling like Grant Cohn this morning. What is Grant Cohn about anything that I'm saying? Shout out to my guy, Grant Cohn. Grant Cohn's real cool. Does his thing. But I'm just talking about like what's going on. Why are we acting like this stuff is not going on? I'm not making this up. This isn't like a made up narrative. This isn't something for clicks. This is literally going on in the moment. Like this is not like Adam Schefter is reporting on this stuff. Like it's real. I'm not stirring it up. This shit's already stirred up. Like it's stirred up. It's cooked. It's getting cooked. It's ready to, pour on the plates and all that. Like it's not me. I'm just giving my perspective on it. In that this is real. 75%, I think he's here. There is a 25% chance that Deebo Samuel is not a 49er. And everything, if we are looking at this situation, everything, it is heading in the direction of it does not look good. From what Schefter's reporting, from what anyone. That's not me making something up. I'm not making up a narrative. This is the stuff that's going on. Like it's literally going on. He scrubbed his entire account of anything 49ers related. He's holding out. He's not showing up right now. His brother saying like, this is real stuff. Y'all know I ain't going to make up some stuff just to make it up. I can't believe I got to that before a super chat. My bad, Gammon. All right, Gammon, this is a good one. Gammon had this, and my guy, Dre the Great. Dre the Great said, fake news, same thing with Mac Jones. Gammon kind of alludes to that. Adam Schefter was spot on 49ers QB. But listen, here is one thing that, and David again, it's called negotiating. Yeah, you can negotiate. This is different than that. This is different than negotiate. Like, yeah, that is part of it. But just because they're negotiating doesn't mean that one person in the negotiations can't be very upset with how it's going. That is a real thing. That's a real thing. All right, but Adam Schefter, let's talk about how he's wrong or right, whatever the case is. Kyle Shanahan. When Kyle Shanahan is up on the podium and he's talking about, you got Kyle up there and they ask him about an injury, right? It's Tuesday. They ask him about an injury. And he says something about the injury, right? Now, by the time Thursday comes or Sunday comes or whatever, maybe Kyle is wrong about the extent of the injury, right? Well, Kyle's not making up the injury. This is what Kyle has been told. So once Kyle gets more information on it, he changes his answer. So when you hear him talk about it on Tuesday, oh, it's just a strain, or Monday, whenever, it's just a strain, he'll be fine. And then come Thursday or Friday, whenever the hell next he talks to the media, and Kyle says, he's probably going to miss a few weeks. It wasn't him lying about it on Tuesday. That was the information that he was given. And then once he was given better and more informed information down the line, or a more updated perspective on the whole thing, he changed his response. And this is what the situation is now, right? Because we hear that, right? Like, oh, Kyle's always lying about injury. He's not lying. He's just telling you what he's been told. And then the more information he gets on it, his answer can change. And I think that's what happened with Adam Schefter. Originally, whatever information he got was they traded up because they really like Mac Jones. And I think it's going to be Mac Jones. And right before the draft, what did Adam Schefter say? They really like Trey Lance. I think this pick can be Trey Lance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like, he's just going off of what he's told. So we can say that, spot on. And then this is my guy Gammon being a little bit sarcastic here. But, in terms of what Adam Schefter does, he reports what he hears. And we originally reported 49ers traded up. They really like Mac Jones. And that very well could have been the case. And by the end of it, Adam Schefter came out a day or two before the draft and was like, they really like Trey Lance. And it could be Trey Lance. Right? And are we acting like that didn't happen? Are you gonna act like right before the draft, like there wasn't that, like, oh, it could be Trey Lance? We had a lot more stuff I want to talk about, but I've gone really long with this. I've already talked for 40 minutes. I haven't even got y'all on here. So y'all know, do, man. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. I'm gonna bring y'all on. I'll save the other stuff for tomorrow. Trey Lance, starter things, whatever, which I feel like should be obvious. Kiper, Todd McShay, their draft. Their mock 3-round mock draft, and they had 3 picks for the 49ers. 49 fans pushed back on that. We will get to that another day, tomorrow. But today, we talking Deebo Samuel. So y'all know what to do, man. Y'all come on. Here's the link in the chat. Hit the like button, man. Run those numbers up. Oh, I gotta learn how to paste on this damn new MacBook. All right. Click the link. Come on live. Let's talk about it. Gammon, I know you coming on, so we're going to talk about it. But listen, this is just my perspective on the situation. I would love for y'all to come on and y'all tell me that it's not a big deal. And I'll be like, all right, like, let's talk about it. Y'all know I ain't one of them like, I'm right, you're wrong, that type of thing. I'll listen. But I got Gammon coming on first. All right, Gammon, let me hear it.
Well, okay, so I'm gonna start off with one thing. So I think the reason why some of the commenters were I don't know why it's like considered slander, but I guess they're trying to take some shots at you in the chat by referring to you as Grant Cohn. But I'm kind of like, guys, this is the type of season, what kind of season we're in right now. This lull period where there's not a lot going on. There's no actual football being played. If Croc doesn't talk about this story, there's nothing else to talk about. If like he had just ignored the whole thing about what his brother said, which every other streamer is doing right now, and every other news outlet is doing right now, like it'd be like, if even Croc was like, oh, Deebo Samuel's brother said something, but let's talk about the draft. I'd be like, what's going on, Croc? Like, you can't gloss over that, man. Like that's huge. But the thing I was kind of going back to, so I'm right now, I'm stationed over here in Fort Campbell here in Tennessee. And, one of the big points you brought up was that A.J. Brown, who's a Tennessee Titan, right, McLaurin, who's over there with the Commanders, and then Deebo Samuel is with the 49ers. I think what's kind of unique about my perspective, at least, is while all this is going on with Deebo Samuel, I'm kind of here in Tennessee, and I'm watching how the Titans fans are reacting with A.J. Brown. And I got to say, I mean, Titans fans seem to be a little more jovial than 49ers fans, but we do get into, us 49ers fans get into like a tizzy pretty quick. It's pretty fascinating. But if you look at A.J. Brown, he's doing basically almost like verbatim the exact same thing that Deebo Samuel is doing. I do think, I kind of agree with David on a few things. I think he's kind of in his feelings a little bit, David in the chat. But this is kind of like it's leverage. It's leverage what Deebo's doing. If I would be doing whatever it took, because I think that I do agree with Adam Schefter that the 49ers are willing to open up the checkbook and give him $25 million right now. That's never been my argument. Even right like day 2 out, 2 days after the season concluded, I always thought Deebo Samuel was going to get $25 million. Now, where I think that they're probably far apart is the guaranteed money. The other thing too that we have to think about is what is the 49ers current cap situation right now? And right now we're about $1.5 million under the cap, right? If you go by the current 51 man roster, 49ers, if they cut Jimmy Garoppolo right now because of the way his contract is constructed, he has $7.5 million for injury kind of like guarantee. So that's one of the biggest reasons why they haven't cut him. So you put in that you cut him, then you've got like that 18 mil, and then you're talking about this and the other. But I don't think that Deebo's a diva at all. I think Deebo is Deebo. I think the way that if Deebo wants his money, no different than in the movies. If Deebo wants the chain, Deebo wants the money, he's going to get that money. So I don't know. I just think that I don't know. Yeah, I didn't lose you, but I don't know, Croc. That's just kind of my feeling. Adam Schefter, he's been kind of wishy-washy a little bit as far as covering the 49ers. I'm trying to think of the last time, at least as far as covering my team, he's been spot on the money, and I don't think that he has. I mean, yeah, I heard what you said about what he referenced, but then I hear John Lynch saying like, hey, as soon as they got off the plane after watching Justin Fields, Kyle Shanahan was drawing up plays on the plane for Trey Lance.
But so remember though, that was kind of late in the process. Remember they had the two workouts late. Remember 49ers ran Justin Fields thing, and then Trey Lance's. Those were really late in the process. Like Trey Lance's his second pro day or whatever was like a week before the draft. That it wasn't like, oh, we watched all this and we've gotten a chance to see Trey Lance in person. Like that didn't happen yet. So the original Adam Schefter reports were well before then. So there's that.
Yeah,
perspective.
I see that. And then as far as like compensation, if we were to trade Deebo Samuel, which again, I'm kind of with you, Croc, when you said, and that's what I kind of like about it is you're being fair as far as like your perspective. Like you're saying things that a lot of the chat is taking like negative. You're just addressing information that's publicly put out there, but where I feel like you're fair and balanced. You're saying, hey, you believe 75% chance that Deebo stays with the 49ers. And I agree with that. And I also too agree that there's that after that Buckner situation, you have to leave the door open. There's that sneaky suspicion of doubt that, yeah, there's a 25% chance of him being traded, but your majority, you're going like, yeah, he's going to be traded, because that's the way that I look at it. When I look at the Titans, 49ers, and the Commanders, and I say, hey, between these three wide receivers, which one of these receivers is most important to their team in order? I'd say Deebo for the 49ers is number one, because Kyle Shanahan wants running backs who can play wide receiver, and he wants wide receivers who can play running back. Well, the three best players that are able to duel their positions, right, are Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, and Deebo Samuel. Outside of that, I mean, so he's the most important to, as far as like the offensive philosophy to their respective team. Now, I'd say out of those three, which are the three that are most likely to be traded? I would say A.J. Brown is the most likely one to be traded, and I don't think he's going to get traded at all. Then I think it's McLaurin, and then I think it's and then Deebo Samuel that's how A.J. Brown's going to get traded before Deebo Samuel, and I don't see A.J. Brown getting traded at all. And the other thing too is the people are advocating wanting Deebo Samuel to be traded. Then who do you have to pair with Brandon Ayuk? The reason why we got Brandon Ayuk was we need someone to pair with Deebo Samuel. I mean, you saw what happened with with Adams in Green Bay. Just imagine if they would have paired another wide receiver with Adams. You look at AJ Brown's situation here in Tennessee, right? They had to go out and get Julio Jones because they need someone to pair with AJ Brown. So you're putting yourself right back in the hole. Now I'll say this draft they've got some good wide receivers. If I was looking for a fair compensation, I'd be looking at something similar to what the Dolphins traded in order to get Hill. That's really my biggest thing, Croc. I appreciate your time, brother. Chat, calm down. It'll be all right. We're all in this together.
All right, man. Yeah, and I see the chat, everything's still kind of going up right now. Let's see. Croc, you lost, bro. If you don't think Kyle and John lie about injuries, come on, man. Listen, maybe they could, but this is my thing. Kyle and John, I feel like they are too open about things. I feel like Kyle and John both. I think John Lynch talks too much. I think Kyle is a little too, like, sometimes you'll know. This is the thing. When Kyle doesn't want to say something, he gives you a bullshit answer in response. And I mean bullshit. Not, he has a knee injury, knee sprain, whatever. We'll see. I think he'll be good. Oh, then come find out he'll be out 3 weeks. It's not like that. When Kyle wants to he just comes off as an asshole. Like, we've seen it, right? Like, over and over. Kyle, if he does not want to answer your question the right way, he will give you, and I say but I mean like 49ers media. He gives you a smart ass answer where it's almost like he's trying to make you feel stupid about what you just asked. So that's just me kind of reading Kyle Shanahan and how he's been over the years. Hell, I've been in those press conferences. I've been a member of the 49ers media somehow, weasel my way in there a little bit, credentialed member of the media, don't know how, because I'm just like y'all, fan of the 49ers, but next thing you know, I'm in the media room and at games, credential, all that good stuff, Crocky in the building. All right, but anyways, I've asked him questions, and I remember asking him stuff about Kelly Witherspoon and stuff like that, but I'm not saying there aren't things where he maybe doesn't give a more politically correct answer, but in the sense of lying about injuries, maybe he does. But Kyle comes off to me as someone, if he doesn't want to give a straight answer, he gives you a smart ass answer and tries to make you feel stupid. That's what I've seen from him so far. But overall, they are very open about everything. Hell, they just told you they got Jimmy Garoppolo on the roster. They've asked about Jimmy Garoppolo in this situation, where he's at with the 49ers. And he's basically told you, well, the only reason why Jimmy's here is because, well, we couldn't trade him. And his injury hurt everything. We feel good about Trey Lance, where he's at. We want to move forward with him, but Jimmy's here, and we're just not going to let him go for anything because, well, we've won a lot of games with him, and there's no point in just cutting a guy who you can win games with, so we'll figure it out in worst case. Like, they're telling you, and I get it if you don't want to take what they're saying as word, you know what I'm saying, like they're lying or whatever, then you can say that. But, yeah, I feel like he's more straight up than people give him credit for with his responses. Here we go. I got the next guy coming up, the Hofster. And I'm gonna get to everybody in the backstage right now as well. But the Hofster, you are up, Hollywood Croc. What's good, man? How you doing?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, I think everybody overreacting about Deebo, man.
Okay, hold on. Is it okay? What part about it do you think that they are?
The whole brother thing. The whole brother thing. What's up with all of a sudden we care about what the brother says?
I don't think that's the case. I think it's everything. Okay, I can't speak for everyone.
And even the negotiating. This is new age negotiating. There's social media. If Jerry Rice had social media, he would have used it back then too.
So do you think that there is no merit to any of it?
No. I think it's negotiating. Deebo's playing hardball, and it gives us something to talk about.
Okay. So go ahead.
Well, I mean, how you feeling about it?
This is what I feel like that is part of it, but also feel like with negotiations, things can get ugly, and you are dealing with the human element of things where people can get a little upset. And when people get upset, you kind of never know You never know how I don't know how Deebo reacts when he's upset.
Yeah.
So that's the part. Like, I know how maybe I would react if I were upset, and if I felt like I feel a little maybe disrespected, and I don't know what they offer though, right? But what if they, hypothetically speaking, they offer him whatever he took as something that was disrespectful.
I mean, I get that as well, but I mean, I think he's looking at the past too. Like Jimmy got a freaking contract after 5 useless games at the end of the season that nobody was caring about, and he was the highest paid player after that. Now you're telling me that Deebo had an all-pro season. Now we playing hardball with him?
Well, what happened with DeForest Buckner?
Are we trying to recreate that?
Well, I'm not saying that.
That was a loss. That was
yeah.
Everybody and their mama wish we had Buckner right now.
Right, exactly.
I wish Kinlaw was not in the 49ers jersey.
Right. Okay. That's I won't go that far. But
nah, bro, he is not Buckner. I do not care. 5 years from now, he is not Buckner.
He's not Buckner. I agree with you. That. But when you look at the Buckner situation,
Buckner was taking double teams and Bosa was eating off of that. He don't have that right now.
I know, but at the very least, has the organization not shown you that if they feel like they are far apart in negotiations, they are willing to move off from you?
But even after you look at the Buckner situation, it was a mistake. I don't care what did. We got a 10th pick. I don't give a damn. It was a mistake, bro. We wish we never made that trade. I promise you, John Lynch will fucking, man, my bad, bro. That was my fault. But they'll never do that. They'll get fired. That's the reason why they keep bullshitting us to us today.
I agree, but also on the other side of things, and as wrong as they could be about that, they still went to the NFC Championship.
Yeah, but you saw how they made it. You saw it. Dude, I am not trying to make an NFC Championship like that again. Are you kidding me? We barely got past Packers. Jimmy almost lost the freaking game versus Dallas. We should have blown their ass out.
I hear. Listen, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong about anything that you said so far. Matter of fact, I think you are spot on, and you are thinking very logically with everything you've said so far. The paying Jimmy Garoppolo right away, how it was a mistake trading DeForest Buckner. All those things are true. But the fact of the matter is, since they've made those decisions, they have had some level of success. 2 NFC Championship games and a Super Bowl. With those things they
had to rely on a lot of things. Jameis Winston, if Jameis Winston didn't get injured, Saints would have made it. Niners would have never made the playoffs. Period. I don't care all this. Hopefully, no. Jimmy was trash, bro. 4 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in the win. Stop it.
I know.
Stop it. I watch these.
Listen, I hear you, but the fact of the matter is, the 49ers were in the NFC Championship game.
But we saw the games, though. You're telling me you want to recreate that for next year?
You don't want to have to depend on certain things. You don't want to have to depend on the player to be as great as Deebo Samuel.
That's
you don't want the defense. You don't want those things. That's not ideal, right? But the fact of the matter is, they have done some things that they probably regret, but they have still had a certain level of success that a lot of other teams wish they had.
Croc, they've had 2 winning seasons out of 5. Stop it with this. They're the God shit. They fucking we've had top 10 picks 3 out of 5 years. Stop, bro.
This is not me. This is not me. This is not what I think. What I'm telling you is from their perspective.
I'm trying to tell you, I'm seeing it from their perspective. It's not working, bro. We got lucky. We got lucky last year. We got lucky, bro. Stop it. I tend to believe the 3 out of the 5 years. Okay, instead of the 1 year getting lucky, and 1 year we had a full-on team, and it had nothing to do with Jimmy. He was a fucking liability. Stop it.
I understand that.
$27 million to that dude. Stop it. That was the dumbest contract we ever seen.
I agree. Bro. I am not pro.
No, and this whole Deebo thing, bro, pay the man. I don't give a damn. Pay the man. Yeah, whatever. Pay the man, bro. He deserve all that. He carried us. Pay the man. Jimmy's trash, bro. Let him go. If we start this season with Jimmy on the fucking on the team and Deebo's gone, bro, I'm done this year. Don't even I'm not even watching.
All right. Hey, so we gotta have you back on. We'll say midway through the season. You got to make sure that you
I'm
come
coming
on.
for sure. Oh, I'm coming for sure.
First, I
I'm
want to
here.
if Deebo does get traded, which I don't think he will. Well, 75% of me says no chance he gets traded, but there is that 25% chance. I say, I saw what happened to Buckner. So, but if that 25% chance happens and he's disgruntled and he gets traded, you got to come back on because I got to hear it.
Oh yeah. I'm a Raider fan after that.
Oh no! All right. All right. Oh man. All right, here we go. We got the next caller coming up, man. Shout out to my guy, the Hoster. I like, even though I could disagree, but I like the back and forth. That was good. We got 4 people waiting right now. Shout out to everybody's in here. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe button, all that good stuff. Y'all know what it is. But next up, got my guy, Dion. Dion, what's good, fam? Uh-oh, can't hear you. You must be. Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
What's good, Croc? How you doing, brother?
Oh man, me. I'm having a good time this morning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know everybody out there panicking about this whole Deebo situation. I'm gonna tell y'all like Aaron Rodgers told the Green Bay Packers, man. RELAX. Relax. Everybody just need to take a chill pill, man. It's simple. Deebo is going to do what everybody would do in his situation. He is not going to participate in anything voluntary. He is going to show up for anything that is mandatory because he cannot afford those fines. And once Jimmy is healthy, he will be traded or cut, and they'll pay Deebo. And everything will go away, and nobody will remember any of this chaos happened. I'm telling you, that's
I
just how
don't
I think
think
about it.
Jimmy has anything to do with Deebo getting paid.
I feel like he does because the issue with Deebo is, from what I understand, the main issue is the guaranteed money. You see Tyreek Hill go out here and get guaranteed bread. You see Devontae Adams get guaranteed bread. You see Deshaun Watson get a whole damn contract guaranteed, and he ain't even set foot on the field for the Cleveland Browns. So, he starts seeing that guaranteed money. He's thinking about himself and his child and the future that he has to have
But
for his
what does that have to
family.
do with Jimmy?
Because Jimmy's holding up $25 million.
Jimmy's holding up $25 million for this year.
Yeah.
But Deebo's contract won't kick in until the following year. So they wanted to, they could pay him whatever. I don't think that's the issue. And Jet York got the money. That's not the issue. The issue right now is I think that they're just far apart on the guaranteed money. And maybe a couple million off with the per year. But the biggest thing is probably the guaranteed money. Yeah. And if I'm Deebo Samuel and I see these other receivers getting 70, 71, 70, whatever million guaranteed, and if the 49ers are offering something less, which we don't know what they're offering them, but let's say hypothetically speaking, they offered him 50 million. Your 20 million is off, 20 million guaranteed off. Yeah. That's a large number. That's basically a full season of security, right?
Yeah.
That's enough I know for sure to make me a little upset. So I think it's more about that and not so much whatever's going on with quarterback.
Well, I mean, the thing for me is I feel like it's going to get resolved, and I don't see him going anywhere. I don't see them trading him, and I highly doubt that Kyle's going to let his best weapon go anywhere. Like, you're going to need Deebo Samuel because he is a very, very big part of this offense. Are you going – I would say as long as they can get him signed, you probably see a reduction in the amount of carries that he has, strictly because they don't want to keep using him like that. They probably – he's still going to do the things that he normally does. You catch him on a jet sweep here or there, stuff like that. But the way they were, using and abusing him, toward the end of the season, he ain't going to see none of that. Why? Because they want to make sure that he's able to stay on the field. I know that Trey Lance asked him to work out, and he told Trey Lance, "Can you come to Miami, come to my side of town, and we could work out, we could do whatever." But I think honestly, you're going to have the offseason program rolling, and you'll see a lot of Juwan Jennings, a lot of Brandon Ayuk, and a lot of Ray McLeod. Like you're going to see these dudes, and that's just how it's going to work. And things will get figured out. I'm not in a panic, and I'm not really in a frenzy over it. I just figure, hey, man, people got to get paid. And sometimes what kills me is the people who do him greasy, who be like, oh, man, you're selfish. And seeing that people said all the negative things and death threats and all that, like, people really got to chill out, man. Y'all ain't about that life. Y'all ain't really finna come to that man and do nothing. The social
that's why he
media.
said, like, I ain't worried about that.
Yeah,
Like, it's just annoying, probably.
None of it. Yeah, he ain't stunting none of it. Why? Because people are chumps. You know what I'm saying? I tell man,
Well,
I have people
49er fan bases, they're notorious for this type of stuff, right? I mean, they did the same thing with, like, Raheem. Raheem Mostert got hurt, and his wife had to come out and say, like, man, stop sending my husband all these messages and stuff. I mean, we for sure remember the Kyle Hamilton situation with the
Kyle Williams,
and the death threats and stuff. So the 49ers, and I don't want to say it's just the 49ers fan base, but clearly this is,
I'm pretty sure
the 49ers are repeat offenders when it comes to kind of doing this whole thing. And now it's gotten to Deebo Samuel over contract negotiations. From that standpoint, like 49ers fans, or you can be upset with that and Deebo come out, whatever. But overall, this is a real thing. It's a real situation. I do think that there is definitely a chance that after the draft, wow, there's no Deebo Samuel on the team. Like, to me, and I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but if it did, I would not be surprised. Like how I was surprised with DeForest Buckner when the news came out that he was traded, and it was like, what? DeForest Buckner traded? A lot of surprise there. With Deebo, I would not be surprised.
That didn't surprise me about Buckner, and the only reason is because Kyle and John lie all the dang time. That ain't nothing new. They've been lying to us since they've been here, and they'll keep lying to us as long as they're here. They'll tell you what they want you to know, and they don't have to tell us anything.
You don't think they'd be kind of straight up? Like, look, think about it this way.
Don't give them that kind of credit, Craig. They
came out and talked about all their players and exactly where they are. Like Brandon Ayuk, the situation. They were very open about the entire Brandon Ayuk situation, right? Brandon Ayuk knows what he needs to do to get better. That's why he's not playing. That's why he's not on the field. They don't got to say that. Oh, he's doing all the right things. Like, no, like the situation and stuff like that, they came out and they talked about it. I feel like more times than not, they say things, and I think people just don't be believing them. And then I think people, because they might say something and maybe that situation changes, that, they were lying about X, Y, Z the whole time. I just think that because I feel like, and there are plenty of times, to me, I feel like, John Lynch, why are you saying this right now? Like, you don't have to say this. There's been a lot of those situations. I feel like they're a little bit more open than people want to give them credit for. For
me, my thing is like, okay, put it like this. The Brandon Ayuk situation. You openly malign that young man. And he probably had to come and holler at you in the locker room like, yo, man, get out my face. Get off my back. You over here doing this to me in public, but you got this idiot over here who can't throw a pass properly to save his life, but he get all the credit. And ain't nothing wrong with him. And his job ain't never in jeopardy. So you can let Jimmy go run around here and throw interceptions and look stupid as heck on the field, but I miss a route or something, and now I'm dead meat. That don't make no sense. So for me, it's like you pick and choose who you want to do that to. And he does that to He does that to the players. And he won't do it to Jimmy.
Kyle has done that to Jimmy. Kyle has been on Jimmy.
Please remind me. Craig never maligned Jimmy. Come on, Craig.
He has said some things where people were like, oh, Jimmy, blah, blah. And he's like, well, he did some things well, and there's things he needs to improve on. Like, he's always when have you ever just seen him give Jimmy a compliment?
Okay,
and it just be a compliment. It's always like a compliment, but
that's borderline. See, there's some things he needs to improve, and there's some things he needs to do better. First is openly saying this person's not doing what they need to do. That's why they're not on the field. See, if you say that about Jimmy, then you would be able to do that. But that's not the case. And the other thing is, like, look at what John said. Look at what he
real
said.
Quick. Well, I thought that it was new when Kyle came out down the stretch and he like defended Jimmy Garoppolo a little bit. Like at some point last year, he started kind of defending him. I thought that was new. That was not how he was talking about Jimmy Garoppolo leading up to that moment.
He's never like basically did what he did to Ayuk to Jimmy. where he basically put Ayuk on Front Street in front of everybody to the media, where Jimmy always got a pass. He always said something light about him. He never said nothing negative. Like when people were telling him, like, yo, bro, you need to, like what's the situation with Jimmy? He always danced around it. And my number one issue right now is you need to come out and publicly back Trey Lance. Stop with this dancing around it. You don't need to prop Jimmy Garoppolo.
You don't think that he came out publicly?
Hold on. Let me get
you
this
don't think
out
he came
because I
out
want you to
publicly
understand.
and back?
Let me say this, because this is my situation. A reporter will come and ask Kyle, is Trey Lance your definitive starter? Kyle will dance around that and he will not commit. So you want to commit in the back office, but you can't commit in the open. So, and then after that, you know what they do? Oh, Jimmy's too good of a quarterback for us to cut. We love Jimmy, and the guys around here like Jimmy, and Jimmy this and Jimmy that. My thing, you know what you do? You know what you say about Jimmy Garoppolo? Jimmy Garoppolo is currently injured. Once he is healthy, we will figure out the best course of action with him after that. That's all you need to say about Jimmy. Stop loving on him and propping him up like people don't see what the hell he is. Like you're not winning, you're not gaining anything by putting him on a pedestal he doesn't belong on.
I feel like that's what exactly what you just said he needs to do. I feel like he's done that. This is what he said. He came out at the owners' meetings, right? During the owners' meeting, he came out and said, we did not anticipate him being on the roster still. Trey Lance has done well enough to where we feel like we are good with moving on from Jimmy Garoppolo. If Jimmy was healthy, he would be traded right now. Obviously, because of the injury, he's put a
Jimmy was healthy, he'd be traded. I didn't hear that.
Well, that's what he's alluding to. He said,
that's what he's alluding to. I need him to say it.
Well, you want him to, there has to be some close to it. But he has basically said, Trey Lance is our guy. That's why we're trading Jimmy Garoppolo. And the injury has slowed this up. And if they can't find good compensation for him, he was like, if we can't find solid compensation for Jimmy Garoppolo, then yeah, there's a chance he's on the roster still.
But what I'm saying is, here's the reason that you can't have Jimmy on the roster, and you can't keep saying stuff like that, because you undermine Trey Lance and you tear the locker room apart.
But even he bring him out. What did he say about Trey Lance? He said Trey Lance knows what the situation is. Basically saying Trey Lance knows we're trying to trade him. He's got hurt and it stopped all the trade conversations. Trey, we can't do anything about that, but you prepare to the best of your ability. Get ready. You are our guy, but you got to prove it. Okay, prove you're our guy, but you're the guy. We're trying to trade Jimmy.
But if you're telling me that, and then I turn around and I see you in the media going, he's gonna stay if we can't move him or get proper value that we feel we should get for him, then what you're telling me is you're going to divide the locker room. There are staunch Jimmy supporters in that locker room, and you will divide it and mess things up.
So do you want him to say, if we can't trade him, we'll cut him? Do you want him to say, if we can't trade him, we'll cut him?
Who said that?
No, I'm saying, do you want Kyle to say, well, if we can't trade Jimmy Garoppolo, we'll cut him?
All I'm saying is I need them to say we will figure out the best course of action. Stop putting him on a pedestal, because they keep trying to make it seem like we're gonna grow, but they're not saying it. My thing is, you're not saying it directly, and I'll say this: if you have Jimmy and Trey on this roster, you will wind up destroying that locker room, because there's going to be people in there that are going to want Jimmy to start, and there's going to be people that want Trey to start. And I'm telling you right now, a divided locker room over quarterbacks, and at the same time, you're not about to pay your backup $25 million, and he ain't taking no pay cut. I guarantee you ain't taking no pay cut. So you cannot have Jimmy on this roster, period.
I'll say this, and we'll come back to this conversation, Deion, and I got to get to the next caller. But real quick, we're going to have this conversation. If Jimmy Garoppolo is on this contract, barring any type of, knock on wood, no injury to Trey Lance, but say there's no injury to Trey Lance, he's completely healthy, and Jimmy Garoppolo is still on this roster, I can guarantee he would have taken the pay cut. If he does not take a pay cut, he will not be a 49er.
Why would he take a pay cut? For what? I don't have to. My money
All right,
guaranteed. From day
that's
one.
I gotta get to the
That's
next caller,
all
but we
if
gotta
he's on the
revisit
roster
this.
week 1, all my bread is there. I
All
get
right.
you. I appreciate you, Croc. Peace, baby.
All right, Dion.
All right.
Shout out to my guy Dion. I love the back and forth though, and I know a lot of people are like, "Hey man, y'all chill," but I love it because I love having a different perspective than someone and like talking about it. And we'll see if Rashawn Davis, he's coming on right now. Let's see if Rashawn has a different perspective than what I'm thinking. What's good, man? Good morning.
What's going on, bro?
Oh man, I'm chilling.
Yeah, as far as the Deebo thing goes, bro, I feel like this. Pay the man his money. Like, at the end of the day, these dudes in the NFL, franchises are
Hey, real
not.
quick, has anybody ever told you you look like Antoine Bethea? I don't know if it's the hat on or what, but maybe it's just the lighting, but you look like Antoine Bethea. But go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, franchises are not loyal. So when you no longer serve a purpose, they let you go at any given cost. So
Yeah.
what you just discussed about his age, it basically says a lot. He's trying to get the bag when he can, because later on he's not going to be able to get it. So what do? You have to put forth your best foot to do what you got to do right now at this point. So I'm not mad at him. As far as the default, the Forrest Buckner situation, we gave him up. Kinlaw ain't really pan out the way he's supposed to. But at the end of the day, like, it's a business, and we still got back to the NFC Championship. So things happen the way it happened. The Patriots have been known to give up big name cats and still reload. I'm not saying that they had Tom Brady at the helm, but in the same breath, like, we trying to create a culture in for the Niners go to do the same thing. So I wasn't mad at it because I feel like Kinlaw gonna be pretty good this year. You know, that's my take.
Yeah. And we got to see where, obviously where Kinlaw is from a health standpoint. And I mean, he has flashed, right? It's not like he's just complete trash. Obviously, you would like to see a little bit more pass rush productivity out of Javon Kinlaw, especially since you got that out of Buckner. But I think him playing more defensive tackle, more like one tech is probably better for him as opposed to the 3 tech where they had him before.
Yeah.
I think now if he can just be a two down guy, where, okay, your main responsibility is let's plug up these holes on run downs. And if you can give us something from a pass rushing perspective from that standpoint, like, cool, awesome. But let's get to a point where it's like, hey, he excels at this. We saw that from Eric Armstead, right? Like early on with Eric Armstead was like, hey, this dude is a terrific run stopping defensive end. Now, he had to get better as far as pass production and all that, but run stopping, he was really good. Can you just get Kinlaw to that point and then build off of that? I think that's something. And it might be a little opposite of what you got from Buckner, right? Like early on, Buckner, really good pass guy, not so great versus the run.
Yeah.
Maybe Kinlaw is flip-flop, but if you can just, start off to where it's like, I excel at this and then build on from there, I think that'd be pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. That's what it is. I mean, if I could go back, I would trade Armstead and keep Defoe, but in the same breath, like, it worked out the way it's supposed to work out. I mean, that's just what it, you know what I'm saying? That's the nature of the business. But all of the stuff with Deebo, like the racist comments, the death threats, all of that stuff, that's probably what pushed most of it out the door. You got to be mindful as fans, like these athletes are human. So you got to understand, I'm trying to take care of my family too. So don't be a fake fan and not understand the game and the business nature of it, and then send death threats because he's deciding to approach business and to solidify his family in a certain kind of way, and you mad at him for that. We not paying them. It's not coming out of our pockets. So let them do what they do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
All right. And I want to ask you one more thing before I get to the next caller. But last thing, do you think that there is a scenario where Deebo Samuel does get traded?
I mean, it's possible. I don't want it to happen, but it's possible. I just feel like draft picks are crapshoots. You don't know what you're gonna get. When we had T.O., after we traded him for a tennis ball and a bag of footballs, we didn't have a top tier receiver for a long time. Now we got one. So we give money to cats who don't really, you know what I'm saying, do anything. But it's just a name. D Ford, a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? And when we got our own situations, we got to pay the man at the end of the day. So I hope he don't get traded. But in the same breath, like everybody's in the chat is like, we could get draft picks and this, that, but you don't know. They don't pan out a lot of times. Pettis, AJ Jenkins, all those was fucking, you know what I'm saying, was bust. Yeah. So you be mindful of that when you decide to say, okay, let me do it for a draft pick. Deebo is a proven commodity, and he's done it more than 1 year. Like, people have felt in the real. That's why I say I don't know who. Like, if you never played the game and you don't watch it from a different perspective, because people who play, you watch it from a different perspective than an actual fan who never played the game. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he done it more than 1 year. He's just that he's the perennial. You know what I'm saying? For what it is right now, it's crazy.
All right, man. I love how you came on here, man. Level-headed, good stuff, Rashawn, man. I appreciate you coming on, bro.
Thank you.
All right, wait, real quick. Where you from? Because some people was like, oh, he from the East Coast. Where you from? Brooklyn?
Yes, sir.
All right, I hear it. All right, man. You have a good one.
You too, brother.
Shout out to my guy, Rashawn Davis, all the way out of Brooklyn. Hold on, real quick. I got a bunch of super chats here. My bad. I forgot to get to those. All right, but here we go. First one up. Blackies. Do you think Deebo wanting to leave has anything to do with Trey being the starter? Deebo is Jimmy Garoppolo guy at the end of the day. One, I don't know if Deebo wants to leave. Obviously, you see the thing his brother says. I think there is something to that, but I think ultimately it's about money. I think it's about money. Now, it can be that Trey Lance situation, right? Even though he put up some solid numbers with Trey Lance throwing to him. I go back to and I don't want to say that Trey Lance is going to be Josh Allen, but I do remember when Josh Allen wasn't viewed the way he is viewed today. And Antonio Brown was getting traded to the Buffalo Bills, and he said, no way. And it was there. It was a done deal. Found out Antonio Brown ain't showing up. Then the whole deal fell apart. And Antonio Brown did not show up because I don't want to go play with this kid, Josh Allen. And then they traded for our guy, Stefon Diggs. They traded for Stefon Diggs. And the conversation then was about, oh, man, like if you look at the comment, like, well, who's going to throw him the ball? Good luck going from Kirk Cousins to Josh Allen. Like, so there could be that sense of Trey Lance isn't as pure of a quarterback ready, whatever, as Jimmy Garoppolo. And maybe Deebo doesn't want to be along for that ride. There is something to that. Yeah, I don't know. I assume this is about money, but there could be that as well. Hell, I mean, he dealt with a lot of that with Jimmy Garoppolo, right? It wasn't like, okay, you catch some slants and things like that, but it wasn't like Jimmy was lighting the world on fire. It wasn't like Jimmy was lighting it up without Deebo, whatever. They had their ups and downs. It was really weird. Deebo, I thought he was the guy, right? He was the team MVP. He was the guy that carried the 49ers offense a lot throughout that year with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback. So, I mean, you might just be asked to carry it a little again with Trey Lance. I don't know if really it'll be that much different, to be honest. Got my guy Gammon here. He says, agree with the caller. Stay calm. Stay calm, y'all. My guy, the Jedi, what's good, bro? If we could get G. Wilson and wide receiver from Alabama and the extra draft capital for Deebo, so be it. This can be an ugly business. I prefer to keep Deebo. I think most people do prefer to keep Deebo Samuel. G. Wilson. Who is Garrett Wilson, receiver out of Ohio State? Okay, man. If you can get Garrett Wilson and wide receiver from Alabama, I'm assuming wide receiver from Alabama, you're talking about John Mechie, because I think he's the guy that's going to go some point day 2. So you're talking about John Mechie. Two legit guys, kind of similar in stature, built. Can we get something a little different? But I agree. Definitely want to keep Deebo Samuel. But, the business, it can get a little ugly. Kyle got in Jimmy's face during the Bears game. Actually had Trey warming up. From all reports, it was Jimmy was about to get benched during the Bears game. And then he had that deep ball to Deebo Samuel. 49ers, scored a field goal, whatever at that time. And then they ended up winning that game. And the 49ers went on the run. But Kyle has came out and said he's about to bench. He's about to bench Jimmy. And there was a time where he was all right, we're going to go with the rookie for whatever his reasons were. So, yeah, that is something that definitely had come out. And if you watch that game again, that game was just on TV. The first half, I mean, you were losing to the Bears. The Bears. And they were down at that time. And you were losing to them. And the defense was playing well. I think in the first half, they gave up 9 points. I think the defense gave up first half 9 points. It wasn't like they were just getting lit up. And the offense wasn't doing anything. Ayuk and Kyle were chilling, talking about pro day, talking at the pro day recently. They are straight. Yeah, and he's alluding to the pro day. They got the local pro days and everything, where like local prospects can attend that, and you had Kyle and Brandon Ayuk standing next to each other talking. So I think they're good though. I don't think there's any worries about that. And then the last one I got here, and then got a new super chat here. But if what if they are keeping Jimmy G to see where Trey? Well, hold on. See Jimmy G, see how well Trey can respond to competition and adversity. That's a real thing. That is a real thing. I think this is what I think. If you were able to get something for Jimmy Garoppolo, then cool. If you can't, right, and he has to be on the can't trade him, got the injury, whatever, and we'll see. Maybe somebody trades for him during the draft. We'll see, right? But let's say after the draft, if he's there after the draft, they ain't moving him for a while. It does give you a chance to see, okay, where is Trey Lance at? Where is he at? Do we need to make drastic moves and just cut Jimmy G, free up that money, roll it over, trade him for nothing because we are just so pleased with where Trey Lance is? There is definitely that aspect to it. Definitely. So, but as far as seeing how well Trey Lance responds to competition and adversity, he was in a similar situation in college. He redshirted his freshman year, and then his redshirt freshman year, they had a transfer come in from Iowa or Iowa State or something like that. And anybody knows kind of the politics of college football. They bring in a guy like that, like they legitimately want that guy to start. And they brought in a guy from a Power 5 conference to compete with Trey Lance, and Trey Lance beat him out. And not just beat him out, he beat him out as a freshman and went on to have an undefeated season, best player in FCS that season, 28 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, another 14 on the ground, whatever, over 1,000 rushing yards. Like, he had a great season. So I think he is up to respond to competition. I think for him, it's just, can he respond to the playbook and understanding what the hell Kyle Shanahan wants? I think that's the bigger thing there. Welcome back. I ain't seen you in almost a week. I know, man. I know. We were here all last week up until Friday. Didn't go live Friday. And then I had got my laptop crashed. So I got a new laptop now. Still figuring out, you know what I'm saying? MacBook. I had a Dell before, really liked it, but I got a MacBook now and trying to make everything shake with it. But first couple of days, it was kind of weird trying to get everything situated. But we're here now. We're here now with plenty of news and more to come throughout this week. Appreciate you for the contribution. Here we go. Up next, I'm going to bring both y'all on at the same time because if one, appreciate y'all waiting, man. Y'all boys been waiting for a minute now. But two, kind of short on time, but y'all going to have as much time as y'all need. So we got Papa Dragon. We got my guy Ryan, a.k.a. Twin Power. All right, so the floor is yours. I would, y'all want to debate with each other if y'all on different sides of this thing, but obviously, Ryan, you're ready to go. Let's hear it, man. What's on your mind?
What's up?
What's up? What's up, man? How you doing today, boss?
All right,
Good,
we
how
got
are you?
both of y'all in here. Let's go. Let's go. So y'all, what how y'all feel about this whole situation? Do y'all think that it's the fans and media kind of adding more fuel to the fire, or do you think, like based off of how Deebo has kind of reacted to certain things, this is a legit situation that people have a reason to kind of be, I don't want to say worried, but worried about?
Man, I believe it's just the business of football. Like we've seen this over and over and over again, not only with our team, but with other teams as well in the league. And we got to understand that. And people talk about Deebo, and we love Deebo, but also these owners are just as prideful in themselves as well. If they traded a Deebo away and still make it to the NFC Championship game, that gives them confidence. That's like having a product that was good. Then you say, okay, I'm going to get rid of this product and bring in a new product, and you still sell pretty much the same amount. So that gives you confidence. Same thing with draft picks. People say, well, they missed on A, B, C, and D draft picks. They say, okay, you may be right. But then we have the Elijah Mitchells. We have the Al Shazier. We have the Dre Greenlaws. We have a numerous amount of players that they feel like, hey, we hit on these too. And so, like, these people are prideful. These people are just as confident and cocky in themselves as we think these players are with the talents that we see out there as well. So, I mean, we just got to sit back, relax, enjoy the process, man. And that's what it really is. It's a business. And even though I know a lot of fans say, well, it's not our money, we can say that all day long, but because we are fans, they're going to do certain things a certain type of way. So if you understand the business, your expectations or your feelings, you won't be on that Vivian Green emotional roller coaster every other day. You know, remember that song back in the day, Emotional Roller Coaster? Like, you won't be going up and down all the time. You'll be more steady when it comes to whatever we hear out here when it on the news.
What's your perspective on this, Papa Dragon?
Well, I think that the history is the greatest teacher. So I'm going to go back in time just for just a split second, and let's talk about the last time we won a Super Bowl. The last time we won a Super Bowl, we had some fantastic players, and that offseason, we lost two big pieces. Now, I remember at the time thinking about Ricky Waters and thinking about Deion Sanders, and I'm like, we can't lose both of them. And we lost both of them because DeBarlo got cheap. So the person right now who really has my level of anger, the person whom I want to drop kicking the balls is John York. John York hides behind his son. He hides behind Parag, and they're cheap. The minute that Deebo Samuels hit 1,000 yards at the halfway point last season, the 49ers should have made him the highest paid receiver in the year. But instead, they want to sit there and wait to the last minute and pay these guys. They did it with Kittle. They did it with Fred Warner. And then they wind up paying more than they want to pay and have these really weird looking contracts. When the reality is that we were 3 points away from going to the Super Bowl. That's the time to go all in. That's the time you go into free agency and you just go for it. So, but instead of them doing that, they hung on to Jimmy Garoppolo. They don't want to give away $7.5 million for cutting them. And they went after literally no one. That's a York thing. When the Yorks got here, they started cutting costs. So the fancy buffets, the fancy plane rides, the lavish spending on the players all stopped. As a matter of fact, when they came aboard, they actually cut staff. So they're the frugal billionaires. Those are the people who don't like to spend money, and they're mad when they lose money. Mad. But right now, they're making money, right? So as long as they're making money, they're going to sit there and say, oh, well, look, you almost got to the Super Bowl last year, and you just missed it by 3 points. And I think you could do it again with what you got if you're healthy. That's their mentality. And that mentality happened with Kittle because they lowballed him on the initial offer. And then they lowballed the wrong dude, and that's Deebo. Brother's name is Deebo since he was a kid. I don't care what movie you stick him in. You stick him in he's Nino Brown, right? If you stick him in certain movies, and he could be a gangster in Goodfellas. We can't pay you, Deebo, because we got Jimmy Garoppolo on the budget, and Deebo's gonna be like, "Fuck you, pay me."
But
we do have a few people in the chat that are pushing back on the 49ers being cheap or Jet York and the John York being cheap. They talked about having a few of the highest paid players in the league on the roster right now, as well as paying three head coaches at one time.
I'm glad you're pushing back. That the three head coaches don't even count. That was by necessity. That was egos and by necessity. They should have never fired Jim Harbaugh. But they did. They fired a winning coach, and then they started hiring bums. That's on them. Okay, those are mistakes. So when I say cheap, I'm talking about when do they ever go out and outbid people for the best free agent? When are you going to see someone get $230 million guaranteed from the 49ers? They're never going to be at the highest part of the list of guaranteed money and signing bonuses.
But they already dished out all that money to the guys. That's why they're saying they've already given out money to a George Kittle, to a Armstead, to Williams. Like, they've given out money to all these other guys for a reason.
But look at what it took, though. Remember,
it don't matter.
Williams is in a restaurant, and he had to call Kyle Shanahan, not his agent, not Parag. He called Kyle Shanahan and said, "Look, dog, I'm about to sign with Kansas City. You better do something."
Hey, Papa, when somebody show you who they are, believe them. This is just who they are. Like, we sit here and want to make excuses and want to go all the way back to the 30 years ago, and this is today. This is how they operate. This is the business. They ain't the Barlow no more. This is the Yorks. And all thing I'm telling fans, adjust your expectations because they've shown you how they really are. They will sit here and tell you, I have the 2 NFC championship games and the Super Bowl to sit here. And also they will say, I have 3 to
I know
5.
what they're going to say. I know what you're going to say, and I get what you're saying. The reason why I'm pushing back is, and people are pushing back against me because you're drinking that Kool-Aid. We ain't won nothing. We haven't won anything. We have 5 years under Shanahan. We have 2 winning seasons. And most teams, the coach is fired. Am I wrong?
How many the Washington Redskins got? How many Seattle they had in the 5 years?
How much? What kind of contract did they sign? What kind of contract did they sign Tom Sula to?
But that's their leverage, though. You got to realize this.
But what about Singletary? I'm just going down the list, man, of a litany of mistakes that a very bad ownership has done. Their stadium is ridiculous. They're ridiculous owners.
Hey, Seattle picked up what's our safety called? What's his name? The guy who they traded the first round draft picks. I forgot his name.
Exactly. They shouldn't have traded for him if you forgot his name. That's the point I'm trying to make.
What they will say. Look what they made a big splash move while they had Russell Wilson after they gave him the contract. And guess what they did? Nothing. They imploded. They hadn't been to the Super Bowl, or he even haven't been to the NFC Championship game again. But then they go sit here and tell us, like, look, we didn't traded Defoe. We didn't sit here and picked up Jimmy Garoppolo. We still made it to the Super Bowl, or we made it to the NFC Championship games. That's going to be.
Do you realize the context of how Buckner was even traded? Do you realize that it was over $1.5 million?
That don't
realize that.
It don't.
You realize that the time that he found out he got traded was right after Staley told him, "This is your team now. You're the leader of this team now. I'm retiring."
And Indianapolis hadn't been to the NFC Championship game. They will say we're relevant.
I don't care about Indianapolis. I care about number 6.
That's fine. You can care about that all day long. But it's
so if I care about number 6, right, then we have to sit here and entertain the thought that if I care about number 6, maybe I care more than New York's do. Maybe they care more about their pocketbook than they do about number 6. Because if they did, they wouldn't have traded Buckner. And if they did, they wouldn't be lowballing Deebo. You can't lowball everybody. Deebo ain't Kittle. His name is Deebo. They lowballed him. They pissed him off.
Hey, they go look at George Kittle set the platform. He came to the mandatories and he did what he did in the OTAs. Fred Warner, who was one of the top 3 linebackers, saw what Kittle did. Look, came, reported, did a mandatory contract at the end. They can say, Deebo, you can buck all you want to. We had 2 guys who was ahead of you, who was consistent longer than you have, sat there, got their money, and then they can say, you can act up all you want to like a little kid, but guess what? Do what you want to do. We gonna stay steadfast, and if you want to go ahead and shake somewhere, go shake. You can say, it's like a kid.
I agree with you 100%. The 49ers have all the leverage here.
Hey,
I don't think Deebo's going anywhere.
Hey, when you the boss of the house and you run the business, your kid can sit there and scream and yell all day long. You can say, hey, get in line. This is how I'm doing it. No matter what you've been doing in school, this is what we're going to do. Point blank, period. Now, you want to sit there and have your little hissy fit? Go ahead. I'm taking your toys away from you. When you want to act right, come up to this room and you come talk to me when you're ready to.
Or you can do the right thing, and when the kid earns the toys, give it to him.
It don't work that way.
Deebo has earned it. So since he's earned it, here is the problem with the paradigm. Are we a passing football team?
We don't know what we are right now because there's a new quarterback coming in and a new regime.
Hang on a second. The DNA of this team is not passing. We're one of the worst at pass blocking. We are one of the best at run blocking. Everyone can block. We have a fullback. Most teams don't. This is a running football team. Trey Lance came from a running offense. As a matter of fact, it almost mirrors the 49ers offense perfectly. Now,
time out. If you look at Kyle Shanahan, he says in interviews, everybody say, well, this is a running guy. He's run. He said so out his own mouth. My office in Houston was different because I adapted to the personnel in Houston. When I went to Washington, offense changed, and I adapted to the offense in Washington. When I came to when I went to Atlanta, I adapted my offense to to Atlanta Falcons.
So did he adapt the 49ers, or did he build from the ground up?
And he's still building, but then he changed.
But what did he build?
What's the most dynamic piece in football?
What did he build?
What's the most dynamic piece in football, Eric? What position?
The most important position is quarterback, unless you're a running football team. Ask Phil Gilford what it is. He's got a ring. Ask Flacco what it is. He's got a ring.
What position do we cry about the most in the 49ers? I'm waiting. What's the answer?
Everybody cries about the quarterback, and rightfully
What did we just change?
We just changed the quarterback. Yes, that has thrown no more than 4 passes a game. It hasn't even played a full season in almost 3 years.
Hey, what did we give up for that
Why
quarterback?
would you put all this pressure on a basically a rookie quarterback and come out throwing the ball 30 times a game?
It don't matter. What did we give up for him?
Who's our right tackle? Can he block? Who's our right guard? Can he block? Is our center going to retire or not? Can he block? Is our left guard? Can he block?
Papa, if you want somebody to hand the ball off every day, keep Garoppolo. If you want the offense to stay what it is, keep Garoppolo then, Brody.
I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to explain to you is that if we had a little bit more better quarterback play, then we probably would have had 6 by now. I agree with you there. But a big part of Trey Lance's game is being able to also be mobile, extend plays, get the ball down the field. We're in agreement here. We're in absolute agreement here. But my question was, are we a running team or are we a passing team? We're built to run.
We don't know what we're going to be.
Is Deebo a better receiver or is he a better running back?
Who will say receiver? Well, his running back is top 5. We look at his average per carry, though. I mean,
thank you. That's
all right, guys.
These are difficult negotiations. This is not like the top receiver in the league. This isn't Stephon Diggs or something like that. This is Deebo, who catches a 2-yard pass and takes it 80 yards.
Because of Garoppolo.
So we have to consider, we still have to consider right now, moving forward, the type of team that we are and what we need. If we're a running team, we have to question spending $30 million on a running back / receiver. You have to, if someone comes to you with the right amount of picks, you have to consider it. Now, my preference is if you can't move Deebo for somebody better, you don't move him. And I don't think that's likely. And I don't want him to go because I believe that Trey Lance is going to need all the help that he can get because we have better problems. But what I am trying to say is that the Yorks in their frugalness on how they treat some of their players. And I do say some of them because it is weird when you have certain people can get very uncomfortable around certain types of people. Okay, you may not get that bag as quickly as somebody like a Kittle or Juszczyk. Juice gets a lot of money for a fullback. Come on, really?
All right, okay, guys. I'm gonna get y'all off right now, but y'all know we're gonna be back tomorrow and we're gonna get more into this. All right. Well, I'll make sure I bring y'all up. Y'all be in right away so I can bring y'all up first so we can get to more.
Oh my God. Just because you give a bunch of money to a scrub don't mean you'd like to
spend money. Papa Dragon, we go be back. We're gonna discuss this tomorrow. All right.
Damn. All right. I'm just saying, give a bag to a top 3 player. Then we can talk. Ford ain't no top 3 player. I'm so mad at everybody right now. Hey, look, shout out to you, Croc, and your family. God bless you. Good going toe to toe with you. Appreciate it. This was fun.
I like it.
Shout out to the 49ers faithful. I love everybody in here. If you got an opinion, come on, Croc Talk, subscribe and share it.
I appreciate it. All right, guys. Shout out to my guys. I love it. I like the back and forth. Real quick, got a couple super chats in here that I need to get to. First one, I got Swan Song. They asked Trey, how was the situation in competing against, this is not a super chat. This must just be one that I start. But Eastern State competition with no doubt. Yeah, that's tough too. Probably like, Trey Lance as a rookie, having a quarterback that is experienced, and Eastern Stick he was lights out. I don't know if there was any beating him out that rookie year. Eastern Stick too, another guy in North Dakota State that got drafted. My guy Double B Studio here, Jackhammer dug into the numbers, and the lowest signing bonus for a pro wide receiver was $19 million. Niners can't pay that right now with Jimmy on the book still. I think, okay, so with the signing bonus, and again, I'm not a capologist or anything like that, but I believe it's something along the lines of you have to show that you have the funds more so than what's available. Some with the guaranteed money or whatever. I don't know. You know what? Don't pay attention to me. I don't know exactly how that goes. There's really weird things and loopholes and all this, that, and the other with the contracts and signing bonus and then prorated money. So I don't even, But yeah, I hear you. We'll see. We'll try to get the answer to that and bring that on here live tomorrow. All right, and then here we go. Another super chat here. My guy Tyrell says 49ers operate like they are still doing PR from a Kaepernick situation. They seem like a PR QB pick. We just want to win. You think? I don't think so. Are you saying that the 49ers, and I saw you want to get on, but I'm gonna get you on tomorrow. I saw you want the link in the chat. We're gonna get you on tomorrow. But do you think, and I'll end with this, do you think that the 49ers drafted Trey Lance to appease fans from the Kaepernick situation? Is that what you're saying? We're going to get to all that and more. We're going to get to that and more. All right, so got my guy Tyrell here. He coming on tomorrow. All right, he's coming on tomorrow. Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow. Y'all already know, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, 6:30 a.m. Pacific time. We here for the good discussions, all that good stuff. Make sure, run those likes up for your boy. Run those likes up. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. All right, all that good stuff. I enjoyed the comments today. Really good stuff. I enjoyed everyone that came on and the different perspectives that everyone has. I love hearing all of it. Make sure that you listen to my new podcast, all right, the Not Ideal Podcast. The link is below. It's probably like one of the last ones below. Business stuff. Have my homie on. We talked about a lot of good stuff between, him being, not where he wanted to be in life to get in the life that he felt like, he wanted, and how he made that happen. We get into all that and more. He also talked about some Black culture stuff. Some things that I thought were pretty interesting, his perspective on that. But shout out to everybody in the chat right now, man. Y'all know what it is. San Francisco 49ers Morning Show. I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. I'm out. Peace.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Aaron Crocker. Over midfield, he'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Crop Talk TV podcast. Peace.